In a world of challenges and uncertainties, hope shines as a beacon, guiding us through the dark times and showing us the way to brighter days ahead. But what exactly is hope? Where does it come from? And how does it shape our lives? I'm Annie Bennett, and I'd love you to join me on this journey as I explore the meaning of hope. I'll delve into philosophical perspectives, personal stories, and scientific insights to understand the power of this elusive emotion. So whether you're seeking inspiration, comfort, or simply a deeper understanding of the human spirit, let's embark on this exploration together and discover the extraordinary power of hope.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Chronicles of Hope podcast with me, Annie Bennett. Oh, I've got a fantastic guest with me today. I'm really excited to have this lady with me. We met a few years ago in my drama sphere. We're drama buddies. But when I started the Chronicles of Hope, realised that she's not anymore, but she was our target audience. And she'll tell you all about that in a moment. But I'm absolutely delighted to have Becky Robinson, drama facilitator and LAMDA examiner, with me today. Hello, Becky.
Hello. Hi.
It's so lovely to have you here.
Oh, it's lovely to see you.
Yeah, we will talk about drama and things because it's how we know each other, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
I think what was the first thing we were in
Winter's
together?
Tale?
Winter's Tale, wasn't it? And I was your best buddy in that, wasn't I? I was Paulina.
You were my supporter. Yeah.
Yes. And then the latest thing we did, I think I was your mother-in-law, wasn't I?
You were my mother-in-law in Richard III. Yeah.
And we've got one of the funniest photographs that I've ever seen of me and you. Do you remember when we took it and we just laughed and laughed?
We couldn't stop, could we? It's absolutely brilliant.
Anywho, so we will talk about that a bit more.
We should share that actually for like everybody's amusement.
Yes, I will find it and put it in the show notes somewhere because it's a cracking photograph. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, when I first set up the Chronicles, you were one of the people that said, "Oh, I wish I'd had this when I was younger." Because you sort of fit our demographic absolutely perfectly. Would you mind just sharing your story of what happened to you? Was it early 20s?
Yeah, early 20s. Me and my sister were both early 20s. And I was just finishing my teacher training in Roehampton. My sister was at drama school at Italia Conti. And our dad had been unwell. They didn't really, our parents kind of kept things from us because they knew we were both studying and in our final, doing our dissertations and things like that. So basically it came to the crunch where he was at a 50-50 chance of a big operation for pancreatic cancer. And on the day that I handed in my dissertation, had a phone call from my mum saying that dad had come out of his operation. I was going to come down, obviously, to see him in hospital. And he wasn't doing too good, really. So when I got there, he was kind of delirious and he kind of didn't really recognize me or anything. Then kind of like they calmed him down and everything. We went home, me and mum went home. I was with mum, Esther was still in London. And then in the middle of the night, I think it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the night, we got a phone call to say that he'd gone into like a state of coma. And then literally for 3 months, we were, maybe four months, the whole of the summer, from June to middle to end of August, we were by him every day until they finally decided that he wasn't good, that they needed to turn off the life support machine. Mum, bless her, really, really struggled. And she struggled afterwards as well. She was amazing. And we were there, we supported each other. We were all three of us there practically all the time. I think only my graduation, we left his side. Then after that, mum really did struggle with coping, really. And Esther kind of took on financial things. I took on practical things. And, between us, we very much were a unit. But I think generally later on, in years later, me and Esther faced it. We didn't face it at the time because we were looking after mum. We were trying to keep everything going.
Mm.
And I think something like this, the Hope Chronicles, would have been amazing for all of us, but particularly for me and Esther, who was so young at the time. And it literally just finished studying and obviously didn't have financial stability. And I think it was more the emotional side of things, having somewhere to go to have other people to talk to that were in a similar position would have really helped us at that time. And then possibly mental health wise, both of us would probably have had the knock-on effect that it has had later on. Obviously, we're fine now and we've dealt with it, but I think that would have been really good for us at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? Because you're coping and getting on, and yes, I've got to sort this out, I've got to sort that out. And there is an element, and there still is an element of, I'm not, don't look after me, don't worry about me. It's my dad and my mum that's important. And of course, that eventually does catch up with you, doesn't it? The not having that someone looking out for you, really. I'm sure your mum did, but she obviously didn't have the capacity to do it completely, did she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Not at that time. And
Mm.
also, I just think, obviously I stopped working completely. I didn't take, I was supposed to work in Tower Hamlets in a school. I didn't take that job. Everything kind of went on hold.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know, who to go to at that time. Whereas if there'd been something Chronicles of Hope, I could have, it would have been like a lifeline, I suppose, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because I suppose it's the unknown, isn't it? I don't know when sort of my life is going to pick up again because I don't know how long I'm going to, be needed here. There's that element of it as well. I mean, did you and your sister support each other, or were you too busy for that, or were you just getting on with
Yeah,
things?
I think we did. I think we did as much as we could, but obviously she
Mm.
was still in London, so she still had her performances and stuff, and a
Oh,
partner
yeah.
there. We did as much as we could, I think. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But you weren't married then, were you? You weren't.
No,
No. No.
no, no. I did. And I was completely on my own as well because
Mm.
I didn't meet Chris till the September. Well, I knew him; he was my friend, but we didn't get together till the September after that summer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so during that time, and let's sort of talk about hope a little bit. Did
Yeah.
you did you sort of put yourself completely on the back burner, right? It's got to be, dad and mum all the way now. Or did you, what was the sort
I
of
think
level
I
of
did at
hope?
that time. Yeah, I
Mm.
think interestingly, there was something that kind of it's weird. It was a book. A book kind of
Yeah.
gave me hope, if I'm really
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
So when Dad went into the coma, I found a book called Captain Corelli's Mandolin, and it was an author that my dad really liked. And so my idea was, whilst he was in the coma, was to read it to him. Well, I
Mm.
hadn't realized that the first chapter is about this beautiful relationship between this father and daughter. And
Ah.
so as I was reading him in the coma, I couldn't get a grip. I was really
Oh.
crying. And I was like, well, I don't want him to hear me crying. I don't want him to be sad. The whole thing
Mm.
is to be hopeful, is to
Yeah.
hope that he does come out of this coma. So I actually stopped. I put that book aside.
Yeah.
I read another book that actually really lifted me throughout it. Can't think what that was called now, but I know it gave me hope and lifted me. And then once he'd died and once we'd got over the funeral, we went away for a few days, the three of us. And whilst we were away, I read Captain Corelli's Mandolin. And literally, it made me go, right, Dad would have loved this book. I've got to be really positive because as
Mm.
a child, I remember my dad saying to me, I took life really, really seriously. I wasn't as happy and bubbly as I am now.
Mm.
And I remember him saying to me, you need to laugh at yourself, Becca. You need to,
Mm.
see the fun side of life. And I kind of like held on to all that. And that was really hopeful. And yeah, so that was my
Yeah.
that was kind of
Oh.
my therapy, I suppose, my personal therapy.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, I've mentioned it a couple of times before. I was listening to Richard E. Grant talking about the loss of his wife. What happened last year sometime or the year before. And he was saying that the thing that really helped him and his family was the fact that before she died, his wife sort of gave him permission to laugh and be happy and say, I want you to do something every day that makes you laugh. So it had taken away that feeling of I must be sad and I mustn't feel, feeling guilty when you're happy, because it's important, isn't it, to not have that level of, oh, I can't feel happy because I've just lost someone, and I feel guilty when when things are happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, goodness
Yeah.
me. So how long did it take you, after the funeral and sort of getting yourself together again? How long did you, I don't want to say sort of back to normal life, but back to sort of a pattern of life that was pursuing what it was you wanted to do?
Well, I lived with mum for a year afterwards. And then, because obviously me and Chris had got together, we moved in together the following year. Well, he was already in a flat and I moved in with him the
Yeah.
following year. I mean, still very much. I mean, Chris was ever so good at supporting me, support mum and make sure that she was okay. Very much. We always did things together. And I think, if I'm really, really honest, that me and my sister and our partners were so good at always incorporating mum, but we didn't feel that we could do anything together without her.
Right.
So it was always, because she would be a bit upset or whatever if we didn't always include her.
Oh, goodness.
So
Yeah.
that was quite hard, I think, on us, as young couples, and that mum was always part of that, and holidays and day trips, which, is just, that became our life. But when I think about it, I think, it was sad that we couldn't just be two young couples being together. And I'm very aware of that for my own children now, Obviously I've got Chris, so it's different.
It's funny, isn't it, how things that affected you younger, you sort of make sure you don't want to pass that on or give your children the same experience, don't you? It's sort of marks you, doesn't it, in a way. So from that, let's talk a bit about, you then moved into teaching, didn't you? Like me, we're both teachers, aren't we?
Yeah.
So what happened then? You went to, because it was the little ones you taught, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
taught. My first year actually, I was in the hearing support unit. I was a teacher of the deaf for a year. That's how I learned to sign, and got my BSL 1 and 2. And because it was what was needed, it was the job that was needed, and they thought I suited it. But then, because I hadn't had the experience of having a class, and there was the opportunity to teach a class, I did that. And I was a reception teacher for many, many years. But I kind of went between reception year 1, year 2 at the oldest, for 15 years. And then I got to the point where I was head of drama and performing arts in the school, but it was a turning point. My boys were getting bigger, and I was like, I want to have my own drama groups, and that's what I want to do. And I want to do more with LAMDA. And so I did more training with LAMDA. And then the rest is history, really. And now I'm a LAMDA examiner as well as a LAMDA teacher, and teach a wide variety of drama groups, from adults to small children to home ed, and specific special needs groups, into very, very inclusive integrated groups as well. A very wide range.
You absolutely do. I mean, having been that teacher who then made the break and sort of went out into the big wide world, if you like, was it a sudden, right, I'm going to do it now, or did it gradually happen?
It was gradual, I'd say. I suppose it's something I'd wanted to do for a long time, and then it felt just right. There's suddenly, when something just feels right and you've got to do something.
Yeah. I was exactly the same with the baking. It was like, right, now or never. I've got to do it now.
Absolutely.
And how did you, because I know you, as you said, you work with such a wide range of people and abilities. Did that happen at once, or did you start with one group and it sort of moved?
Yeah, I started with the LAMDA, specifically teaching LAMDA syllabus, and small groups, mainly around primary school, because obviously I'd taught in a primary school. My children were infant and lower junior at the age at the time. And then that year, Helen Moore Jackson said to me that she was going off professionally acting and on cruise ships, and that would I take over her SEN drama group for adults. So I did that. So that came. Then the dance school asked me, or around the same time, the dance school asked me whether I would teach lessons there. Then it grew, and another dance school, and then schools were asking me to come in and do workshops. And then I did some drama and performing arts teaching at Guildridge, and then Hankham asked me to do workshops. It just all kind of like grew. Yeah. And then because I have a drama therapy degree before I did my teacher training, then people were like, oh, will you come in and do drama with special needs groups and special schools? And it literally grew like that. And then like in the last couple of years, the parents said, we want a parent group. So now we have an adult group. And I think the age range now is, I think it's like from the youngest is 4 and the oldest is 76.
Excellent.
So it's an amazing range, which is lovely.
Yeah, because I've taken part in some of your productions as well. I think the first one was Daisy Pulls It Off.
Daisy Pulls It Off.
And I was head teacher. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was wonderful, wasn't it?
Great fun. I mean, it's sort of quite unique the way that you do things and the way you work with people. I mean, your youth, we were talking before we started recording about the National Theatre Connections. Tell us a little bit about that, because that's just brilliant.
Yeah, well, we started that 3 years ago. What's wonderful about the National Theatre Connections is that it's not just, well, it is youth, but it's also young adults. So it goes up to 26. So if you're aged between 18 and 26 with additional needs, learning needs as well, or physical disabilities, you can be part of it. Which means that the group is just it's so wholesome, this group.
It's wonderful.
The youngest in this group this year is the youngest in this group is 12, and then the oldest in this group is LED 23. And then we obviously we've got quite a few adults supporting the group and working with the group. 4 in total: Sophie Gurney, Teresa O'Malley, Lisa, of course, who's my next in command. And Sam, who does all the tech stuff, as well as kind of assistant directing to me and Lisa. But also we have a youth team. So we have a youth team. Sam leads that because he's still he's young. He's and my son Leon helps him with techie stuff, with the projections and sound and things like that, and anything to do with anything that needs filming. And we have the youth group team. We had this wonderful artist that came to us and work experience last year. He's only 15, and he wanted to come to work experience with us purely to do like costume design and set design. Very, very talented young man. So we said to him, could you join our youth group for National Theatre Connections to design all our projections and create beautiful sketches? So he's done these beautiful work of a castle and witches and Macbeth with a dagger. They're just stunning. And they are our projections for this year's play. And then we also have peer mentors. So it started off with my youngest son, Zephan, being a peer mentor and supporting the additional needs students within the group. And then following year, Lisa Terry's daughter, Sophia, was the peer mentor, working so beautifully with sign language with the students that needed in the group. And this year we have 2 young ladies, Katie and Katie, who are young adults, working as peer mentors, and Louis as well, who's also stage manager, with Harry supporting him. So, and all those are like aged between 15 to 17. And they are so incredible at what they do, and they just communicate beautifully. They put all their ideas across and work together so well. So it's just really nice.
Wonderful.
Really
Wonderful. Yes, unfortunately, I didn't get to see this year's Macbeth. It's 5 of them, isn't it?
Times 5.
But I did see, it was Mia and the Fish, wasn't it?
Yes, last year.
Oh, that was just beautiful. I mean, sort of the group dynamics that you instill in your groups is just fabulous, and they're so supportive, aren't they? And the older ones support the younger ones, and everyone makes sure everyone's included. It's just
this year, what's been really beautiful is that some of the older ones, we still got some older ones in it, but some of the older ones only wanted to do the Macbeth Shakespeare in the summer because they were doing A levels or they were doing foundation year. So they were finding things a bit much. They only wanted to do one. Which meant that the younger ones in the National Theatre Connections group went, I want a main part in this. And some of them are painfully shy, really, really shy. I mean, one of the lead characters is a girl who, in the past has never had a lead role. And she said, when we were casting it and auditioning it, she said, there's a role in this that I feel so passionate about. It just really is me. But I know that I can do it justice. And then when she auditioned for it, she brought tears to all our eyes. It was just so powerful. And she does the beautiful tomorrow speech, because the writer has used certain speeches in it that are poignant and that kind of reflect the young people's lives in it.
Right.
And she does that speech at the end, and literally I had tears rolling down my cheeks on the 28th of March when we did it at the home venue. It was so powerful. And she's written a beautiful account of this experience that we've sent to National Theatre Connections, because it was just so moving, really.
Fabulous. I mean, you and I both know the power that drama has for young people. And when I was primary teaching, I was sort of in charge of the Christmas production every year and made sure that every child that wanted to be in it was in it, and every child that wanted a line had a line, even if I had to write it myself. It is such a good way, you know, character building. It's sort of the ultimate.
Empowering, isn't it?
Isn't it just? And people that don't know perhaps about theatre and acting tend to assume that it's the extroverts that want to be on stage and show off, but it's really not, is it?
This cast, I'd say there are 2 extroverts in this cast. 12 and 13, including the designer, are definitely introverts. But seeing them yesterday, we had to practice outside yesterday. It was one thing, there was a reason for it. But actually, at the end of it, it was like we were having a party, and they all said, "Can we rehearse outside all the time when it's nice weather?"
Fantastic.
Honestly, all of us were, all of the cast were laughing. It was like a party. But if you'd seen them at the beginning in September, this cast, hardly any of them talked to each other. They were all really, really shy, all really, really nervous. And it's not like that now.
Oh, it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. And of course, you know, as they grow up and into adulthood, it's such a skill and such a thing to have. You know, I was a lead in a play, so you know, it makes them stand a little taller, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So what's next for Becky Robinson Productions?
We have this on Sunday. And then our lovely Robin group, our adult SEN group, are doing a version of Grease. It's called Summer Nights.
Yeah.
At the Hippodrome on the 15th of March. Which is going to be absolutely wonderful. Their dance routines I just feel that this group, they grow and grow. They did Mary Poppins last year, but it was so emotional. And they just grow and grow, but their capacity to learn the choreography and work as a team now, it's really quite something. And always it moves the audience, and always we have an audience flooded with tears.
Yeah.
Then we have our little ones doing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the play version for schools on the 6th of June.
Yeah.
Then we have our LAMDA showcase on the 4th of July. And then we have Macbeth, the actual Shakespeare by William Shakespeare, on the 19th and 20th of July. Then in the summer, we have a play in the week of Donna Rosita with our youth group. And this is our oldest of the youth group. So these are age 16 to 19, doing a version of Donna Rosita with flamenco and Spanish, because there's quite a few Spanish speakers in the group. So we've got quite a lot of Spanish language in it and Spanish singing. And then finally for the year, our community group, which is the range of like age 7 to 76, are doing Alice in Wonderland at the Grove Theatre on the 28th and 29th of November.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so it's a very, very busy year, but a good year.
It is.
And then obviously we have LAMDA exams within that as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. And so we talked at the beginning about your family, and I know, I was really sorry to hear that your mum did pass away last year, wasn't it? Yeah. But I know that you said, she did live a happy life after your dad died. So it was sort of a quite a nice story in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah. She loved her grandchildren. She adored her grandchildren and did beautiful things with them. She was somebody that didn't really buy presents. She wanted experiences. So she went to like London Philharmonic Orchestra with Zephyr because he loves music, and she went to football with Leon because they both loved football. She would have loved to have been a female footballer player, really. But there wasn't the opportunity for her in her years.
Yeah.
Joy was very much, and you were saying about laughter, and last year when mum was dying and she was at end of life care, there was a very funny incident. It's a bit probably rude to put on a podcast, but Yeah, mum was uncomfortable down below. And then she couldn't articulate what was the issue. So she said, my roof. She said, my roof. And she was getting really upset about her roof. And my sister said, oh, I'm not sure a roofer could do much about that, Mum. And literally, me and my sister absolutely lost it. I think we were crying with laughter for days afterwards. And, and that was at a time that was extremely traumatic.
Of course, yeah.
And sad for both of us. But, like our dad had taught us, laughter,
You absolutely, and say it's easy to feel guilty that you're laughing when someone is in a difficult position or at end of life, but you have to. It's the sort of what they call it, doctors have gallows humor, don't they?
Absolutely.
If they didn't laugh,
humor goes a long way.
Well, I suppose if you're a doctor and you're facing it every day, you can't take it all on board, can you? You really can't, because you'd never be able to do your job properly, would you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's been so lovely talking to you.
It's been so lovely talking to you too.
There is just one question that I ask all my guests. All of my guests get asked this question, and I'm sure you've got an answer for me. In that, I always ask whether you've got a message of hope for my listeners, having been yourself in the position that so the people that we're supporting are in. What might your message be?
Just value beautiful friendships.
Mm-hmm.
They always go a long way, and they always will bring you hope and happiness. Laugh, smile, and try whenever you can to find the positives in the negatives, and to hold on to everything and everyone that makes you feel happy. And try to forget about and go do anything that tries to bring you down, really.
I'm 100% in that camp. I live for the joy, live for the happiness, and
even the little things, isn't it? It's like today I went and I before I got ready for work, I mean, our house is like in renovation at the moment, so I was doing sanding and I was doing stuff, and I thought, before I go and get ready and start doing work, I'm going to go and pick some bluebells from my garden, because that just makes me smile.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh no, I'm 100%. I love having flowers around the house, but it's the little things, isn't it? And the little, having a cat on your lap with it purring. It's just wonderful, isn't it? So absolutely, that is a fabulous message. Becky Robinson, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Annie. It's
Absolute
been an absolute pleasure for me too. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to the Chronicles of Hope podcast with me, Annie Bennett. I hope you found inspiration, comfort, or perhaps even a newfound perspective around the meaning of hope. To find out more about the aims of the Chronicles of Hope organisation, please visit thechroniclesofhope.org, where you will find links to our social media accounts and where you will be able to make a much needed and appreciated donation. Thank you.